Good morning. It is 5:13 a.m., March 29th, 2020. And I'm again going to be talking about a feature in Veracrypt called SHA-512. We go into Veracrypt, we select yada yada yada, do the same thing as before, hit P or anything, save it as anything. Boom. There's all our encryption algorithms. Now we're going to go down here and we're going to talk about the hash algorithms. And we're specifically going to be talking about SHA-512. But in hash algorithms, we got four options: SHA-512, Whirlpool, SHA-256, and Shrebog. And we're going to be talking about SHA-512. If you want more information on hash algorithms, you can check out this little link. It'll take you to the beginner's guide in Veracrypt. Okay, so to start, SHA. SHA means secure hash algorithm, and SHA-2 means secure hash algorithm 2. And it's a set of cryptographic hash functions designed by the National Security Agency, NSA, you know how much we love those guys, and first published way back in 2001. That's what it is. Now, what is SHA? Okay, so we're going to go way back in time to this guy right here. This was the guy, Roger Needleham. This was the guy way back in the day. I don't even know how long ago. Way back in the day, he pioneered the technique of protecting passwords with one-way hash functions. So we use hash functions to protect our passwords because of this homeboy right here. Okay, so we got this guy, and this guy and a whole lot of other guys were using hash functions. We're using hash functions. They're using hash functions in networks. They're using hash functions to protect their passwords. They're using hash functions to improve their security. So one day, the United States back in the 80s was like, okay, the computer industry is going to be very, very big. They recognized that the computer industry was setting up to be very, very big. That it was going to revolutionize the economy. So, but they also recognized that their own computers at the federal level, they recognized that the United States government recognized that the computers and the computer security that they were using at the federal level was not good enough, and they needed a standardized law and they needed a standardized rule. So in comes the Computer Security Act of 1987. So the Computer Security Act of 1987 was largely for federal buildings and federal property and federal computers and everything that had to do with federal. So this Computer Security Act in 1987 happened, and one of the things that this act enacted was something called Capstone. Capstone is a United States long-term project to develop cryptography standards for public and government use. Capstone was authorized by the Computer Security Act of 1987 and driven by the National Institutes of Standards and Technology. You remember those guys from the AAS and the NSA. The project began back in 1993. So the Computer Security Act of 1987 authorized this project Capstone. This project Capstone is one of the things that gave us AES and data encryption standard. And so basically it was the U.S. government going, we both as a government, as a country, we need publicly available means to secure our computers, basically. So with Project Capstone came the creation of the secure hash algorithms. The secure hash algorithms are a family of cryptographic hash functions published by the yada 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 blah 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 blah. So way back in the day, back in 1993, the NSA released SHA-0, or Secure Hash Algorithm 0. And it was a mess up. They messed it up. There was a significant flaw. So, but they terminated that release, and then they released something called SHA-1. So this is SHA-0, and then they eventually released SHA-1, Secure Hash Algorithm 1. And that was released by the NSA. And that's what people used for a long time as their secure hash algorithm. But then people started noticing flaws, and the secure hash algorithm started to not be so secure. So eventually they released something called SHA-2, which is what we're using right now. And in SHA-2 has SHA-512. And that's what we're going to be using in Veracrypt. Now, why do we use SHA-512? It's the same for Advanced Encryption Standard. The encryption community really does have a belief that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it works, let it keep on working until it don't. And that's why we use SHA-12, because of inertia, because of tradition, because we've always used it, and it's gotten us by so far, and it ain't, it's getting us by now, and it ain't doing too bad. So we're just going to keep using it. So that's what SHA is, that's what SHA-2 is, and that's why we're using SHA-12, and that's why SHA-512 is so popular. So I hope you guys liked that video. That video was quite difficult to research, so please, I hope you appreciate it. And if you like that video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Help the channel out. Appreciate you.